Hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Yanar. I'm a yoga therapist, and I'll be taking you through some gentle chair yoga postures today, suitable for everybody for movement disorders, for long term health conditions, or even just anybody more comfortable moving from a chair. So, if you are joining again from last week, welcome back. This is our second session. And if you're new, welcome. And I hope you enjoy the session. The movements, like I said, will be accessible for all bodies, even if you're moving from a wheelchair. And we will work through the whole body, going through mobilizing all the joints, stretching the muscles, all from a seated posture. And I'll be guiding you through an awareness of your physical experience and also your breath, and perhaps even where your mind wanders, because our mind does wander even when we're practicing yoga from a chair. So be gentle on yourself, take it easy, maybe have some water on the side, especially if it's a hot day. It's still quite muggy here in London. Let me know where you are. And take rest whenever you need, and also just move to the capacity and limits of your body. Even if you see me stretching to a full stretch, just move to where it's more comfortable for you, and I'll guide you through that too. So as always, pop any questions that you have at the end of the session, and we'd love to hear from you. Okay, so let's get started. And always start with a little bit of settling. So that means adjusting your body and adjusting your feet and your legs, and just arriving in a comfortable position so that you can prepare yourself mentally, physically for the practice ahead. You might want to connect your feet to the floor, like maybe give them a tap. Just feel the soles of the feet in the floor, and then feel the shape of your legs. Feel your buttocks against the chair. You're just connecting to your physical body now. Move your awareness up the spine, from the base of your back, all the way up the back to the shoulder blades, to the tops of the shoulders. Bring your shoulders down and back if you can, if you'd like to. And then just feel the head stacked on the neck. And then run your awareness back down the body, down the arms, down to the tips of the fingers, and to notice where they're resting, where are your hands resting, and what do you feel? What's the touch? Can you feel the touch of clothing or the chair? And then just feel the whole space around you. So this is your moment now to come out of your busy morning or day so far, and just give yourself a little bit of time to check in with your body and yourself and move mindfully. And we'll end with a little bit of relaxation practice and some breath work. So when you're ready, you're going to let go of all of that awareness and prepare to move. So take your awareness to your hands, and we're going to bring them out in front, extended, and then start with a lovely cat-cow hug. So we're going to start opening the arms wide, and then wrap the arms around the body, curl forwards if you can. And then we'll add the breath now. So extend through the spine, opening the arms out wide, maybe even lifting the chin this time. Breathing in. And breathing out, rolling forwards for that flexion in the back spine. And lengthening, extending, lifting, looking up. And exhaling, curling forwards, rounding the back. We'll do 2 more. Big breath in. And out, curling forwards. And when you're ready, big breath in, feeling the stretch in the chest, looking up, extending through the spine. And then wrapping around and curling forwards again. So come back to a natural position. Adjust. And then we'll bring some simple shoulder shrugs in. Bit of a tongue twister there. So breathing in and out. Big breath in, squeezing the shoulders and let the breath tumble out. Big breath in and out. Last one, breathing in and releasing. And then to the neck, just notice how your neck is feeling today. And then when you're ready, you're just going to slowly release tension by looking left to right, only to where it's comfortable for you. There's no need to overstretch. Sometimes we wake up with a bit of a sore neck, so we just have to move to our limits that day. Noticing where you can move to. And then back to center. And then a little tuck of the chin towards the chest. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. And then raise the chin, dropping the head back, feeling the stretch in the front of the neck. And then continue lowering and lifting your chin in a pace that feels good for you. Noticing where you feel the stretches. And then you might even notice your breath. You might notice a breath naturally breathing in as you lift the head and breathe out as you lower. So when you're ready, come back to center. And then we're just going to rock the neck from side to side. We're going ear to shoulder. Small movement here, but nice for a gentle side stretch. It's not a strong one. We can adapt it for a stronger stretch another week. So back to center. And then when you're ready, we're going to work down the arms. So we're at the elbows now. Just give that arms a stretch. Bring them out to the front of the body, extended. We're going to bring the fingertips up to the elbows, up to the shoulders, I mean. And then we're bending at the elbows. So bringing the fingertips up to the shoulders and back out. Again, it's a simple movement, but it really helps to keep the elbows healthy and mobile. And a very functional movement too. We need this movement for everyday life. We'll do 2 more. Notice your breath. And then release when you're ready. Just feel any sensations in the arms. Just take your awareness there. And then we'll move down to the hands. So we're moving into the wrists. So you can have your arms outstretched or closer in if that's too much strain. And you can start to bend at the elbows. We're raising the fingertips to point upwards and then lowering them down. Again, it might feel like a simple movement, but if you're on a device during the day or you're using your hands for any kind of work, then it's great to give the attention to the hands, to stretch out the palms and also bring a little bit of focus into this small movement. We're raising our awareness here. Breathing in as the fingertips come up and breathing out as you lower. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And last one, breathing in, fingertips up, and breathing out, lowering. And releasing there, feel the sensations. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back up, fingers around the thumbs, and rotating around the wrists. So again, releasing tension from the forearms, tops of the hands. This is a lovely one to do in bed before you get up, waking up all parts of the body, bringing energy to the tips of the body. And let's go the other way. Again, you can watch the hands. Sometimes they do funny things. Sometimes they're going in funny directions, and that's all good. We can just watch with amusement and curiosity and let go. And then we've got one more for the hands. So when you're ready, I'm going to squeeze the hands tight and then stretch the fingertips out wide. Again, squeezing tight. You can have the arms outstretched or closer to the body. Just find a position that feels comfortable for you. And you're clenching and stretching, creating tension and a big stretch. Bringing energy and mobility to all these smaller parts of the body. And we need that. And yoga means that we can take our focus and awareness there. Great. Give the hands a shake and let go and feel the effects, whatever they might be. You might notice tingling, pulsing, any sensations. So moving now down, back through the torso to the spine and the shoulders and the chest. So a little bit of attention to the upper body. Let's bring the fingertips to the shoulders. Bring the elbows in. It's okay if they don't touch. And you're going to take a breath and then open the arms out wide to the sides. And breathing in here. And breathing out, elbows out. The shoulder blades will come together behind. You might feel that. And then you also might feel the stretch in the front of the chest. So notice all of these parts working hard. We'll do two more. Elbows out wide, shoulder blades squeezing behind you. This is our last one. And here I'm going to invite you to hold. It's totally optional, but if you want an extra stretch, feel free to hold here and then release when you're ready. And now feel the effects of that. And then come down the spine. We're going into a twist now. So fingers back onto shoulders and feel your spine as upright. Make any adjustments you need. Feel your core engaged. And when you're ready, we're going to take a breath in and then twist to one side, going as far as you can. And then come back to center and then over to the other side. Back to center. And then continue rotating in a pace that feels good for you. I'm going quite slowly. Move with your breath and feel free to make it more dynamic if you wish. But just feel that your breath and your body are moving together. One last time. And back to center. So feel the effects of that. And now from a rotation, we're going into a side bend. So one arm is going to come down the side and the other going to hold your ribs or your waist or hip. Find where the angle that's comfortable for you. Take a breath. And then slide down, fingertips towards the floor. Coming back to center. And exhaling as you bend to the side, fingertips down towards the floor. Coming back to center as you breathe in. Last one. Stretching down, fingertips towards the floor as you breathe out. Coming back to center. And we're going to swap sides. I've got an armrest in my way, slightly awkward, but hopefully you've got a bit more space. So elbow bent and hand resting on the side body at the ribs or the hip. And when you're ready, take a breath and leaning to one side, fingertips towards the floor. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing out, side bending. Breathing in, back to center. And last one, getting that side stretch in. Releasing the posture now, coming back to natural position. And then we're going to move down the body to the hips. So adjust yourselves, maybe shuffle forwards on the chair a little bit if you need to. You're going to open the knees out wide. Here, connect to your upper body. Feel that your spine is quite upright as much as possible for you. Everybody's backs will be different. Feel your tummy and core and chest engaged. And then when you're ready, we're going to lean forwards. It's going to be a little hip hinge. It's going to look like this. Chest coming down towards the floor. And then come back up. So we're aiming for a flat back. So breathing in, breathing out, lowering towards the floor. You can keep hold of your legs for support. Do that again, breathing in. And breathing out, lowering your chest towards the floor. Imagine you're looking at the floor now. And coming back up. We'll do one more. And the movement's coming from the hips. So this time we're going to add an arm swing, sweeping the arms with it. So arms outstretched, fingertips pointing down. I'm going to breathe in as we raise the arms up. Breathe out as you lower down towards the floor. So we're using that hip hinge with the arms and the breath. Breathing in and out. Now feel free to adjust this posture. If you can't lean forwards, just use the arms. Just breathe in, raising the arms, and breathe out as you lower. It's still effective because we're synchronizing breath and movement. Breathing in as you lift and stretch, and breathe out as you lower. And if you do want that extra movement, lean forwards and come down. So 2 options there for you. We'll do one more, breathing in and out. Good. Okay, so from here, closing the knees and then adjusting yourselves for a bit of movement from the knees and the legs. So just lifting a leg up and we're just bending from that kneecap, lowering the lower knee and raising it just to as far as you can. And we'll do one more, breathing in as you raise the leg and breathe out as you lower. Let's do one more, breathing in and out. Good. Over to the other side. Just see where your leg is able to move to today. Breathing in as you lift, breathing out as you lower. And remember, each side might be different. We can be curious about that. And watch the leg to see how it's behaving today. Last one, breathing in and out. Good. Okay, so we're almost down to the bottom of the body, to the feet. So we're going to move the ankles, raising. I'm going to lift my legs so you can see, but feel free to keep the feet down towards the floor if that's more comfortable for you, or have them raised. So we're moving the ankles, a bit like the wrists. The toes are pointing up, and then we point the toes down. And we'll move with the breath if possible. So breathing in as the toes come up, and breathe out as you lower. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And you'll feel the stretch in more than just the ankles. You might feel it in the calves. 2 more. Breathing in and out. Last one. And let go. And now we'll go into rotations. So we'll aim for the same direction on both ankles, but that might not happen. So see what your feet are able to do. without any judgment, just with a sense of neutrality. There's no good or bad. We're just moving the ankles in whichever way they can. And then when you're ready, pause and go the other way. So again, they may not go the opposite way. See what happens. And if moving two ankles at the same time is challenging, just do one at a time. I often do that with my Parkinson students. Just doing one at a time sometimes works surprisingly well and differently. So, last one. And let go when you're ready. We have one more for the feet. You know, they hold us up all day, so we need to give them some attention. And we're going to bend the toes and stretch the toes out. So if you are on your feet all day, I know not everybody is, but it's nice to give the feet some attention, curling the toes forwards and stretching them out. So big curl and a bend, and then a big wriggle and stretch. Last one, curling in and stretching out. And give them all a wriggle. Hopefully you're able to do this with no shoes on, but just about possible with shoes on too. Okay, and let go there. We've worked through the whole body now. I'm just going to do a couple more dynamic stretches. So we're going to move back to this part, the hips area, and add a chest stretch. So we're going to do triangle pose. So if you're ready to get into position, adjust your buttocks again. So you maybe come towards the front of the chair, knees out. So there's a bit of space, hands on the lap to start. Now one arm will come down inside the knee, and another option is to rest it on your leg. So if this is not easy, then just rest it here on the thigh, and the other arm is going to come overhead. And here you can adjust the angle. Maybe that's more comfortable. Maybe you'd like to go all the way. So find the angle that works best for you, and then open the chest out wide. So you might feel the stretch here, if that's a position that you're in. And then you can look at your hand, wherever it might be, and breathe here. Take a breath in and out. One more. And then release as you exhale. And then let's repeat on the other side. So one arm down or resting on the thigh. This is our adapted triangle pose, Trikonasana. In a chair here, again, adjust your arm. Is it overhead or is it to the side? Find the position for you, and then a couple of rounds of breath. And then release on the exhale. And we'll just do one more slightly more dynamic. So we'll breathe in as we raise the arm to the other side again, and breathe out as you lower to the other side. Breathing in and out. Now one more on each side. Big breath in and out. Big breath in and out. Good. And then come back to center, adjusting yourselves. Find yourself in a comfortable position. And we'll do a few rounds of breath work just to settle the body, feel the effects of all of those practices, and hopefully that will help you continue with the rest of your day with a little bit of a sense of calmness in your mind. So even if it's just for a few minutes now, that can still help. So making yourself comfortable, feet in contact with the floor again. Feel the buttocks. in contact with your chair. And then feel the whole of your back, your spine, the position of your hands and arms, wherever they're resting. Make any adjustments you need to your back and chest. Might help you breathe a little more easily and feel the breath moving through. And then feel that your head and the whole space around your body. And then find your breath. And find that with every exhalation, so every time you breathe out, feel that you can let go a little bit more. You can relax into your body a bit more. And you can even do this practice lying down anytime. So just follow your breath for a few rounds, just feeling the front of body rise as you breathe in and fall as you breathe out. You're just watching the natural movement of breath and the natural movement of your body moving around the breath. All happening quite naturally and spontaneously. There's no effort here. And all we're going to do now is lengthen the in-breath and lengthen the out-breath and make them both equal. And equalizing the breath creates a balancing effect in the body. And that supports the nervous system. And that allows you to manage health conditions and symptoms a little more easily, because we're allowing the body to go into a relaxed state, activate this relaxation response. So when you're ready on your next inhalation, I'm going to count how long that inhalation is, and then match your exhalation to the same length. If you're breathing in for a count of 3, breathe out for a count of 3. You're breathing in for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4. Your breath is a bit longer and you're breathing in and you're counting 5. Breathe out for a count of 5. So just follow each breath, counting along the way, and match your exhalation to your inhalation. So you're breathing in and out, smoothly and equally. Keep on noticing, being with your breath. Notice if your mind wanders, and if it does, that's absolutely okay. Just bring it back to the breath, back to the count. Stay with the breath and stay with the count. So from here, do 2 more rounds. Breathing in smoothly and gently, and breathing out equally. Breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, let go of that controlled breath. Let go and come back to a natural breath. There's no effort, just totally spontaneous breath. And just notice the body breathing again normally and naturally. And know that you can come back to that particular breath work anytime you need to balance the emotions and balance the body again. It's great for the nervous system. So we'll close now, noticing how you feel in your body, noticing if it's any different to the start of the class. There's no right or wrong, you're just noticing. Noticing your breath, how does it feel? And then finally noticing the mood of your mind. Where are you there? How does that feel? Again, with no judgments. And then coming back to drop all of that awareness and come back into the day, remembering the day and the time of day, and turning your attention to close the session and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Thanks for your time and for your effort to look after yourself. Hopefully see you again another time.